Want to make your stories more adaptable, giving users the ability to tailor how information appears? You can leverage scripting to filter visualizations like tables and charts based on the current selection of options in a filter widget, such as a checkbox group. Start by creating a script object, which is a container for script functions. After creating the script object, you can give it a meaningful name. When you create a new script object, a script function is automatically created within it. Script functions can be reused throughout the story, helping you to avoid writing the same code multiple times. This makes your code easier to read and maintain. Give your script function a name that's easy to understand. The setMeasureFilter script function will need to accept an array that contains the measures that are currently selected in the checkbox group. You can include an argument called selectedIDs for this purpose with a type of string, set as an array. Now that you have a script function that accepts the IDs of the selected measures as a parameter, you can begin writing the logic for the function. To filter the dimensions on the table and chart in this story, you can use the method setDimensionFilter. In the Optimized Story Experience API Reference Guide, you can see that the setDimensionFilter method accepts two parameters. The first is the dimension, and the second is a list of members to be excluded or included in the filter. You must therefore identify the name of the dimension to be filtered before you can add it as the first parameter of the setDimensionFilter method. Attempting to rename the dimension reveals its name, which in this case is custom dimension 1. Now that you know the name of the dimension, you can use the setFilterDimension function on the data source of the table. Provide the name of the dimension as the first parameter. For the second parameter, provide the array selected IDs. Repeat the statement to update the chart. Once you've written the logic for the setMeasureFilter script function, you can reuse it in other widgets in the story. For example, you can select the Remove All button, call the utils script object, and then call the setMeasureFilter inside this object. Since there are no measures selected, you can pass an empty array inside the function as a parameter. You can apply the same logic to the on-click event of the Select All button. But instead of providing an empty array as a parameter, you can pass the script variable allMeasures. Next, you can update the measures of the table and chart when a measure in the checkbox group is selected or deselected by applying the script to the onSelect event. You can once again use the setMeasureFilter script function. For this step, you can supply an array of the IDs of the selected dimensions by calling the getSelectedKeys function on the checkbox group widget. Now you can save your changes and then test out the functionality in view mode. Selecting the Remove All button results in all the measures being removed from the table and chart, while clicking the Select All button populates the table and chart with all the measures. Selecting individual options from the checkbox group updates the chart and table to display only dimensions corresponding to the selected measures. Check out the next video in the series to learn how to write a script to trigger a pop-up that will allow the user to select which products they would like to see in the table and chart. And to learn more about using a checkbox group to filter the dimensions of tables and charts, review the links in the description and try it for yourself today.